So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. I'll explain who I am, what I'm doing during the intro section here. But let's go ahead and get started, Kodak. So it'll be a 3, 2, 1, go. So this is going to be Metroid Dread, all bosses unrestricted. Unrestricted being the glitch stratification that doesn't really get as much spotlight as the other lower stratifications have. But to say the least, this run is going to be very action-packed. There are tricks almost immediately. So our goal here is going to be fight all 30 bosses. Bosses include enemies, any robots, mini-bosses, major bosses. So we're going to be doing everything we can to beat them as quickly as possible.
And by quickly, we mean we're going to be destroying this game insanely. Like, you'll see.
Yeah, and there's Adam. He's our computer friend. He tells us where to go. But unfortunately, he takes up a lot of time, so we're not going to talk to him very many times.
We're purposely avoiding him.
Yeah, we would like to avoid him. There's a couple different ways to do it, but I'm going to be trying to demonstrate the newest version of it, which we will be seeing very, very soon. But first, we have to kill what is essentially the tutorial Emmy, or the broken Emmy, often called Elaine colloquially. Oops. So here we just parry on the guaranteed parry, slide under, shoot the door, and go grab the Omega Cannon over here. This game has really, really tight movement, so you're going to be seeing a lot of pivot respins around corners, lots of sliding to get certain distance and carry my forward momentum, as well as quick rises off ledges in order to quickly climb 2 different places. So that's the first boss, 1 out of 30, so start counting.
Yep.
But from here, we have a couple options for directions that we can go in Artaria. I'm going to be trying to take the most direct path found with what is the newest trick that's been found in Dread. It's pretty tough, but I'll let it speak for itself. But first, we have to do this pseudo wave. So you melee while going through the door, take 4 steps to the right.
We're basically be shooting through the wall here to activate these like blocks. You're not really supposed to be hitting at this point, as you can probably tell by now.
Lost my positioning, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that back. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've already sequence broke. Yeah. So now we're gonna go over to the Emmy tutorial, and there's gonna be a door in the upper left corner. We want to go there. We don't want to go through the normal tutorial, so we're gonna do what's called an Emmy boost, and essentially slap the Emmy in the face. However, the consequence of this is we have to parry the Emmy to get it to stop pursuing us. Oh. Accidentally buffered a ledge climb there, so we're going to go ahead and take the death there, unfortunately. But as you can see, you can get up to that ledge and then jump over the Emmy, parry it to move on. So we're going to be giving that a second try.
It actually skips most of Artaria.
Yeah.
So definitely giving it a couple tries. This is worth it. That's a good first attempt at it, actually.
Oh. Ooh, there. Melee'd a little late there. But that's okay.
Yeah. This is like a really annoying part really early on. So once we get past it, it's not going to be too bad.
Yeah, it's a 30 common reset point. It could take a while to really get off your feet here, but my wall jumps have been looking pretty good, so I just need to put it all together. Melee a little early there. Oh, I thought I had that one.
So if it wasn't like already obvious, the Emmy, like you have 2 chances to counter it, and it's not guaranteed at all that you have the timing down for it. So it's just kind of like RNG.
Yeah, there are 3 distinct timings: a short, a long, and a mid timing here, and it randomly selects both. Essentially. Oh, okay. All right, all right, all right. Let's try this again. Oh my god, man. Getting absolutely flattened here. But that's the reality of trying to do all the hard stuff, unfortunately. Sometimes it just doesn't quite come together, but...
It's the reason why they're hard for a reason.
Yeah, this is, like I said, easily one of the hardest tricks that we've added in recent memory. It was found literally on the game's 3rd anniversary. Really early again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. All right, we're going to have to power through this here a little bit, but worst case scenario, I can bail, but I would like to... at this point, I'm committed. I'm going to try to get it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go, up in the ceiling. A little late on the respin there, so we're just gonna set up again. Get it on the ceiling. Oh, missed the coyote, so we're just gonna go try again. Lost a little bit of height on that respin. As you can see, you can just kind of try it a bunch of times. As long as the enemy doesn't catch you, so you get a lot of opportunities to go for it here. Getting really, really close. Oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh.
Did we say this is hard already? Because
Okay. Losing a lot of height on these wall jumps. I'll give it a couple more shots, but if I can't get it, I will just do normal charge first Artaria. Unfortunately, like I said, this trick is very, very hard. And I got pretty close earlier, but... All right, and now we got a parry.
oh, rip.
But you can kind of see there, so we get up to that ledge, and then we have to parry the Emmy, which makes for very dramatic content, truly.
Truly.
But this time, you know, we're dialed in now. We know we can get up there, so let's just do it.
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, missed the wall jump.
I'm not sure why he didn't jump up there that time.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. Really trying to flex on the Emmy here by sitting in this room, but... All right, I'm just going to move on, keep us moving forward. So I'm just going to do a slower variant of Artaria here, which is just the charge first route. So I'm going to go ahead and just move on so that way we're not stuck here. I want to keep things moving. I know Tom will finish pretty quickly, so want to keep things moving. So we're just going to go do the rest of Artaria. And unfortunately, that means we are going to have to take a slower route where we talk to Adam more. But that's okay. So we're just going to come over here and
uploading data.
keep moving forward here.
Yep. Yeah, you see, this is why we would like to skip Adam as much as possible, because we don't really need to talk to him. We kind of already know where we're going.
Yeah. Fortunately, because of other tricks, you really only have to talk to him in Artaria and once in Cataris. So you may notice the Emmy. Well, I guess normally wouldn't be here if I was doing Cloak first, but unfortunately, because I was unable to get the Emmy boost there, I'm going to have to navigate around him. However, the Emmys are secretly huge pushovers when it comes to navigation. You just kind of go right past them. So we're going to have to do this little water section here. And then we'll have a little skip coming up here where we can make use of the Phantom Cloak. Oh, I don't have Phantom Cloak, never mind. I'm doing charge first. So I will go ahead and go through the water here. Kind of improvising a little bit since normally I would have just done the Emmy boost there. But just going to be a little kind of chill tour through Arcaria here. Jumping through the water actually moves a little bit faster than just running, so it's our best option for trying to get through here. Coming up to this Emmy zone, this is the other side of that door that we were trying to get up to earlier. So you just come down here, and then we can skip filling up the water by just respinning on the ceiling, getting right up to that ledge, and then we are home free to charge beam.
Charge beam before Morph Ball.
Yeah, so this game has crazy order of items.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be spending your first couple hours of the game with no Morph Ball. In run, you know, it's only like 15-ish minutes, but...
It's crazy when you're playing casually. Usually Morph Ball is one of the first items you get. And it's either you have it by default or it's the first item you get in every other Metroid game. So this is pretty interesting they decided to make the game this way. We're going to have this energy tank.
Yeah, because we're going to be fighting everything, we want to have as much health as possible. That is without wasting time.
And that one's like very quick, so might as well just grab it.
Mm-hmm. And that little movement there showcased something really important called a quick charge, where if you interrupt the initial startup of a charge beam with another action, such as a spin jump or a turnaround, your charge beam will actually charge instantaneously. This allows you to basically just... This allows you to quickly shoot doors, quickly shoot enemies, and now we're moving into the first major boss of the game, Corpus, who is essentially just a big damage sponge. You just kind of shoot him in the face a bunch of times, which can be a little frustrating when he turns invisible, but if I don't miss too many shots here, I should be able to kill him without phasing him over. There we go. That's a two-phase Corpus. Very, very nice. So... Like, as you can see, I have one missile left, so that gets pretty tight when you only have 30.
Yeah.
And, like, even on the whole, like, having Charge Beam is a nice backup there because you can just quick charge for the rest of the fight. But now that we have Cloak, we can come over here and kind of take a backwards shortcut, kind of going through the exit of this area. And make our way to the first Magma Switch, which is essentially how they guardrail you through the game early on. However, we really don't have to interact with them much at all, so we can just kind of go this way.
Kind of make our own rules. That's kind of what Unrestricted is all about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And now this opens up those kind of like bronze yellowish doors that we saw earlier. Those are magma doors, and essentially they just kind of gate our progress. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to talk to Adam again here. He's got a lot to say, and I really don't want to hear any of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, we do not care about what he has to say for right now.
And then the magma door opens, and we can proceed. So a key factor here is because we went through that Emmy tutorial, the Emmy is spawned. If we had gone to Corpus first instead of attempting the Emmy boost, then we would have to re-spawn the Emmy, because if you go to the white central unit without spawning the Emmy and breaking that blob, then the Emmy will actually not spawn when you beat the CU here. Another just kind of missile sponge boss. Really nothing crazy. We don't have a lot of upgrades for DPS, so we just kind of make do with what we can between beams and missiles. And now we've got the white ME fight coming up here. And paradoxically, this is kind of the hardest ME fight in the game. There's the perfect kill known as the plant kill, where you just kind of stare it down in the face, plant your feet, and kill it. Is notoriously quite difficult. Unfortunately, I mantled that ledge slowly, so I'm going to have to do a jump over here. So we're going to do a little accident. So let's run that again. I just held L for too long, unfortunately. But you just jump right over the ME and blast it in the face.
Yep. So because of this, like the terrain in this area, this actually is one of the harder ME fights.
Yeah, it really makes it difficult. That sloped ceiling over there can really tank your jump over. But because it's on, because I died on second run, it's significantly farther back. So we should be able to do a slide under here.
And boom. All right.
There's a white at me. And now we just need to get the heck out of Artaria. We don't. We got no business here now. So it's just going to be a little movement section coming up here.
Nothing hasn't been too crazy yet, but we'll get there in due time. Sure.
Yeah. The minute we get to Catters, things get turned on their head, to say the least. So we're going to come up over here.
Out of Artaria.
And then we are going to go over here, skipping missile tanks. Because realistically speaking, you really only need about like 50 to 55 missiles. So we'll be kind of maximizing on our missile gains by catching the plus tanks, which give you 10 missiles instead of just 2. There's a couple 2 tanks that we can't avoid, but for the most part, that's what we're going to be doing. So here, we're coming up the elevator D-boost. We're basically just going to take a little shortcut in order to...
Yeah, we're going to use these flying enemies. Basically just like hit our way up. There we go. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, just a little damage boost, real casual, like, you know. Opening that door, it's not important. I just like to open it sometimes.
Swag. What's wrong with swag?
You know, just a little bit of, just like letting out my emotions from failed Emmy boost. But you might have noticed to do that Emmy boost, you kind of have to jump over the Emmy.
And then, but that also like you
have to melee it.
You have to melee, and then that kind of just
avoids most of Artaria.
Yeah. So,
but we need a better way to say that.
Yeah, we need to combine most of those like words together because like that's just a bit too long to say. So let's see, like jump over Emmy.
Joe Mama.
Joe Mama.
Joe Mama.
Yeah, Joe Mama works.
All right. I like it.
So
I like it.
Unfortunately, we had to avoid Joe Mama.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it can be
rude.
It can be quite rude, unfortunately. But we're gonna just do a little movement down here, and unfortunately, we have to talk to this Adam. However, this will be the last time we talk to him.
All right. So if you guys are Adam fans,
say you're sorry.
Yeah. Get all that you can of them now.
But yeah, now we say goodbye to our dear friend Adam, and we are not going to be seeing him again for the rest of the run.
Catters have a lot of really cool stuff going on.
Yeah. Traditionally, it's a very movement-focused area, but in Unrestricted, we kind of flip it on its head because we would like to get the Morph Ball. Essentially, that is the item that we are interested in at the moment. So we're going to have to get there, and unfortunately, we're going to need the Emmy's help. So early game Dread and Unrestricted, and even an NMG. So do a little damage boost here. That's called the Super Boost. And then we're going to do the one heat run that exists in the game.
It's not too bad, though. Just a little bit. Especially with our one energy tank, we're going to be fine.
Yeah, it's plenty of security. I'm going to open that door, actually. That will matter later. Well, not really matter, but I want to do it now.
Yep, here we go.
And then if that drops health, yeah, then we're in pretty good shape here. Yep. As you can see, the environmental ticks in Dread are very aggressive. They ramp up very fast. But now we're going to be doing another missile pseudo here.
go. These are very precise.
There we go.
Nice. Yep.
Very nice, very nice. So that basically skips the entire eastern half of Cataris. And now we can basically just go straight to the proverbial Adam skip. This is the original way that Adam was skipped and run. The green enemy is down there, so we would like to avoid him. And we're just going to do a couple buffered wall jumps here and a melee respin to get up to the top of this area here.
It's a little tight.
That should be good. There we go.
Nice.
And now we're going to come over here. We're going to tag this door to send the enemy back to his spawn spot in case he's in front of us here. Yeah. And then we're just going to run away. Like I said, the enemies are not scary. They're kind of pushovers. So there we go. Okay, so now we're going to do what's called the Emmy Warp. So we're going to tag this door again, go through here, immediately leave so the door doesn't lock, and then tag the door on the inside, like that. That movement on the outside sets the enemy's spawn initially over here, which is very favorable for doing this trick. We're going to use the Phantom Cloak to get the enemy away from us.
Yeah.
So getting to use Phantom Cloak for its vanilla purpose. Love that.
So off it goes.
And then we set up on this door over here. Pre-aim, crouch. We wait until it starts beeping so that the enemy is coming back. We're going to take 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then wait. Okay, so that's not the right spawn, so we're going to let it kill us. Fun fact, if you parry the enemy in that spot specifically, you can push it out of the enemy zone, which crashes the game.
We definitely do not want to do that.
Yep. So this is kind of an infamous trick in Unrestricted at this point. Oh, jump through the door by accident, so we'll try again. Thank you. Shout out to the opposite minithons. We call them Dwayne because they're rocks. So the enemy is right in place again. We're going to alert it, come over here, and try again. And essentially, we are basically just gambling, running the slot machine until it gives us a spawn in that area where it started. Because it can either go up top, it can go up into the right, or down. Wow, bad luck again. Bad luck again. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
we just have to get lucky.
the most important factor of this is because the camera breaks, we can actually pause during the Emmy parry cutscene, which will allow us to essentially pause buffer. Oh, hello? Okay, there we go. So the Emmy's gonna be a little bit further forward, so we gotta haul. We gotta haul a little bit. But hopefully he does not come back to the left. I messed up my movement a little bit, so he shouldn't. Okay, he's gonna waste my time. Okay, there we go.
Off he goes.
Yeah, see you later.
Can't believe he can't see us.
All right, chat. So it's a 1 in 3. Will I get it?
I'm feeling good on this one.
Oh my god, I got the same spawn 3 times. That is unfathomable bad luck. But essentially what we're doing here is by tagging the door, when you go through a load zone, the enemy will go back to its spawn. So what we're doing is colliding with it in the load. Oh, okay. We're colliding with it in the load in order to basically warp with it. Hence the name of the trick, Emmy Warp. So we tag the door, come down here. If only it were as nice to me as it was in practice, man.
Yeah. In practice, this was first try Emmy Warp, which you see definitely saves a little bit of time, but you know, there's not really much we can do about that.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Alright.
There we go.
Yep. Nice.
And that's Emmy Warp.
Yep.
So now we can just shoot at this guy. Oop. Uh-oh.
Nice.
We're just gonna go up this way. We don't need to mess with that anymore.
Yeah.
Messing up my slide turret pseudos, unfortunately, but that's okay. We're gonna tag that on the way out and then go fight the CU.
Yep.
So essentially that is definitely not supposed to happen. However, I parried the green Emmy so many times that it's just, I'm used to the timing. A really unfortunate side effect of doing Emmy Warp is that I don't have wide beam yet, which is going to make that CU fight a little bit longer and make the upcoming Kraid fight a little bit more annoying in terms of damage. But this Emmy's fight is very much simple, so if you're ever having trouble with it, just do this. Try it at home, kids. Just do this.
Even I can do this one.
Yeah, anyone can do this. It's very easy. And it looks a little scary, but like, there's no way it can reach you.
Yep. Right. We finally have Morph Ball.
Yeah, so there's that item that we've been wanting for, you know, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah. Just about.
So really okay RNG on the Emmy Warp there. Fourth try is all right. But overall, if you can get that first try with a fast seam pseudo, you can save about 5.5 minutes and run. It's honestly kind of wild. Or 4.5 minutes, something like that. So very, very nice. And now, unfortunately, we don't have really any way around hot areas, so we're going to go grab the various suit and then go on our merry way.
Morph Ball is quite useful. The entire reason I'm coming here is to see.
Yeah, it allows us to go through these tunnels that we couldn't normally slide through, as well as the fact that it will allow us to single wall jump, which Dread normally does not have outside of the magnet walls.
There's also plus tank, by the way, that we mentioned before to get
Yep.
the 10 extra missiles.
By far the easiest one to grab.
Like, it's like, why not?
It's right there.
Yeah.
And having the extra 10 for Kraid goes a very long way.
More the merrier. It doesn't take that long to grab. And so, various suit's the last suit, right?
Yeah, there's only one upgrade.
There's only one suit upgrade. Yeah.
I don't know anything about this. People keep telling me about this gravity suit, but I've never heard of it.
That's definitely a playground rumor.
Okay, yeah. That must be like the Toad in Melee, type thing,
30 cruel melee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have to hit all the credits in the end, you know?
Pretty much.
But,
we're gonna get our last suit upgrade.
Yep. So we can just go ahead in here, do a little morph boost in the water. So basically by morphing on ledges, Samus gets a lot of forward momentum. Additionally, if you slide morph over ledges in certain ways, you get a little bit of a boost. I unfortunately did not get a good boost there, but I still made it across, no problem. And then I'm going to try to do the cheat shot here. Unfortunately missed the cheat shot. And now we will be doing Barrier Climb, which, I won't lie, as a casual, kind of messed me up a little bit.
Yeah, this is such a cool part. It's like, okay, you have to activate these things all the time. This one is a little different. We gotta hurry.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do, Kodak. We might run out of time. You know, they're preparing us for future escape sequences.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you gotta do that movement right there just to activate that.
But yeah, having just the pea shooter there really makes some of those double blocks kind of annoying because sometimes they just won't break. Skip the cutscene, and now we got orange pajamas on. That's pretty neat. I think it's pretty stylish.
Yeah, I agree.
Overall, like, I really think the suit design in Dread is really, really good.
Yeah,
like, all three suits are incredible.
Yeah.
So now it's time to make our way to a very infamous boss in Dread speedrunning. Definitely a very iconic appearance from a Metroid perspective, but a boss that can be very frustrating to do fast at times.
He's a classic. We gotta head our way back.
Yep, so we go back to Cataris now, and essentially where we're trying to go is to Dyron. But because Cataris is essentially like a locked puzzle box with those magma switches, it's much faster to just take the direct shortcut to Kraid and take the purple teleportal directly to Dyron. However, that does allow us to get diffusion beam before wide beam, so we get to kind of see a very funny looking single shot diffusion for a very short period of time.
Absolutely not intended. White beam you're intended to get like before like morph ball.
Yeah, because interestingly enough, beam upgrades in terms of like beam damage upgrades stack. So if you get like wave beam before plasma beam, you just get all the beams. Like it just gives you all of them. But for charge beams, you have to get them sequentially. So getting diffusion will not give you wide beam and vice versa. And my health is a little low here, so I'm gonna be a little careful. Having that only one energy tank compared to normally having what would be two makes a pretty big difference here.
So right now we're just making our way towards Kraid. Thankfully we get our health back here.
Yeah, we get a nice little refill, and then we want to try to blow up the blob on the way in so we can cleanly slide in. And now we get to fight Kraid, the evil green time waster.
We're just gonna kill him with missiles.
Yeah, how nice this fight goes depends if he decides to throw up or not. Unfortunately, he's decided to throw up.
I don't know what he ate, but it can be very good at it.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to also secretly fill up on missiles, and then we're gonna single wall jump our way up here. So, using the morph ball, we can go into a neutral stick and then kind of do like a wall jump morph. And when you do that, it retains enough momentum enough like horizontal distance that you basically just can climb the wall.
And that makes that fight really easy. It's already over.
Yeah.
Kraid.
There is a dev-intended kind of shortcut for the fight where you get bombs, but unfortunately the tour to get bombs is really, really long. So we don't get to do the fun belly kill. And here we're going to try to make use of some quick charges here to quickly dispatch these diffusion blobs. These blobs are actually specifically coded to only take damage from diffusion shots. Even if you come in with a pseudo wave, you will not be able to hit them. Unless you already have the diffusion upgrade, interestingly enough. But here we are at the purple teleportal, taking a shortcut straight to Dyron instead of doing all of the eastern half of Cataris, which Emmy Warp allows us to skip. My shoe's untied, I'm gonna fix that real quick.
Yep, loading times definitely make it a little bit easier to do that.
Yeah, you get a nice little breather oftentimes in Dread because you're always going between areas. So the teleportals, the trams, everything like that kind of gives you a nice little break to reset, refresh your perspective, and kind of keep going forward. You know, things happen sometimes in speedrunning. Some tricks are harder than others. But you may notice the lights are turned off, so...
It's very dark.
Yeah, we can't use any of the doors until we turn them on, so we're just going to come over here real quick and turn the lights on.
It kind of reminds me of the Toy Story 2, I believe, with Buzz Lightyear when he's got the green, like, glow-up parts.
Mm-hmm. It is pretty neat. Like, it's kind of like a spooky aura, and I kind of wish they used the dark areas a little bit more, but... You know, it's so cool that you get to see them for the short little tours we have them.
Now the lights back on.
Slap this guy, slide right under, and we're going to grab wide beam.
Yep.
Now, normally you would have to go out through that door at the bottom, but because we already have the morph ball, we can just exit the way we came.
Yeah. You're usually supposed to slide through here. The game just utilizes slide a whole bunch early on to basically gatekeep you from... We can have like one-way entrances where... if you have morph ball, you go in and out, but otherwise you're kind of stuck.
Yep. And then
already have a bunch of that.
Yeah. So this one room is basically the entire reason that we need the Varia suit. That and the Kraid fight. Without Varia, it is impossible to get through that room. And you may notice there's no Emmy in here. We never went through the yellow Emmy tutorial, so he's just not here.
Yep.
Do another little single wall jump there and get us up to the top. And we're going to be in the second dark room of Dyron. So here we're going to be looking to take another shortcut. An interesting property of missiles here is that they can shoot off-screen blobs.
Yep.
So we can do a little double turnaround action here.
Doing a pseudo wave here.
There's one shot.
There's another one.
Come on now. Being real finicky with me today. Oops. Got my angle all kind of messed up, you know?
Yeah.
There's another. All right,
there
clutch,
we go.
Clutch,
Nice.
clutch.
Two in a row.
Really using out our missiles there, but
Yep.
that's okay. We don't really need them for anything right now. So this is a backdoor. That's the backdoor generator missile pseudo. We basically just get to take a little shortcut to here. 3 missiles, or that initial diffusion shot breaks the first layer of the blob, and then the 3 missiles will completely explode it. There's another spot where you can use that. Unfortunately, I'm not taking that route, but it's kind of an interesting property of missiles being able to hit off-screen blobs.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that missiles can do that. Now we have bombs. It would have been quite a detour to go get this before Freight, so...
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine, like, you have to come all the way up here without diffusion, have area. Oh, doing a little bicycle kick by accident, and grabbing some ledges.
I'll just use these like force ball launchers that look very cool. I really like them.
Yeah, fun fact, there's an old trick called Mystery Move, where if you jump on the same frame that you lay the bomb, it kind of makes the launchers freak out. They patched it out in a very early legacy patch of the game, but it essentially would allow you to go all sorts of wild places within Dyron that you're not supposed to, such as going straight to the central unit. Here we're going to come up on the Dyron golf course here, so I'm going to try to hit this hole-in-one real quick. Unfortunately, barely missed, so I'm not a golfer.
There's no golfing here.
And now we're going to head to everyone's favorite part of every Metroid game, the water level.
Woohoo!
So, you may have noticed that in the hot room, there were 2 sides to that room when I went to the left. If I had gone to the right, I could have gone to early grapple beam. And unfortunately, that is a little slower than just going all the way through here, simply for the fact that that you have to go through 2 loads immediately, and that by itself is enough of a time loss that the shortcuts you get from grapple are not worth it.
Yep. So like with 2 loads like that, I mean, like we literally just went through a whole load just explaining that how much slower it is. That's just a whole another one.
Exactly. And having to do them back to back, like going to early grapple requires of you, is just not worth it. Here we're going to be making use of those morph ball boosts that I mentioned earlier. And that'll allow us to at least somewhat quickly get through the water.
And this is one of the worst rooms.
Oops. Yeah, this room is one of the most uncomfortable rooms in the game. But, you know, it's very short, so it's fine. And then we're going to hide here to get past that little guy with the laser. Just a small little optimization to get through this room without taking a bunch of damage, because that laser does a bunch of damage.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if I'm going to get an assist here. No. Secretly, the hardest coyote jump in the game. Oh, missed the morph boost, unfortunately, so we're just going to jump through and make our way down to one of my favorite additions to the Metroid franchise in terms of upgrades, the flash shift. But part of the flash shift is that there's a long underwater segment. But we have bombs, which are very well known for their infinite bomb jump capabilities. So we're going to leverage that here. Oops. Reset. Losing my rhythm a little bit, but that's okay. There we go.
Nice.
And then I did that movement right there before the load because if you just hold forward, you close the door by accident, which loses like 10 seconds.
So we've gained one of the pieces of the Triforce.
Yep, that's the first piece of the Triforce of clipping, which we actually get them all back to back to back here. So we're just going to make our way through this water section. Again, water level.
Yep.
Can't flash him, can't do anything, just trying to do our best. And now we need to pop these blobs over here. And instead of going all the way down, we're just going to come up here, do a little morph shot, and shoot straight through the floor.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, that's normal.
Yep, totally normal. Hello? There we go. I don't know why that was missing. I think, shooting a little too far to the left. And then we're going to come over here and do a crouch turnaround pseudo, which basically just leverages the fact that Samus turns around frame 1 when you unpause to shoot that second blob down there. And then we can do a water bomb jump, which manipulates the water bomb state to just go right up there.
Now we're blue.
And now we're out of Berenia.
Yep.
We will be coming back here later, a couple times actually, because there are two major bosses, or two bosses in Berenia, being the double Chozo robots and Dragiga, but we will not be seeing them for quite some time.
Yeah.
So we are going to make our way back to Dyron to what is essentially the Yellow Emmy boss fight. We're going to have to go through a small section where we actually do see him for the first time, or see it for the first time. But yeah, so pretty standard on rails kind of section here. Just going to be using flash shifts, morph balls, lots of jumping in the water to get through this area as quickly as possible. And there's the LME. He looks scary because he moves so fast, but he's really not in the way at all. And now,
is used all the time. It's awesome.
And like we have the flash shift, so we're quite fast ourselves. Like we're in pretty good shape. And now we're gonna see the introduction of the charge missile. That essentially combines a quick charge with a fast missile shot directly after to optimize DPS against certain enemies. That's often used against Kraid in runs where you do not do Emmy Worm, such as NMG or Glitchless. And is used against these central units in order to quickly take them down. The yellow Emmy, being quite scary, has a bit of a pushover fight. You can just kind of stare him in the face. That's it. That's the whole fight. Just do that.
No risk involved. Not like the green one where it was like kind of scary looking, but it's really not. That one's just like no issue whatsoever.
You just kind of look at it. That's it.
Sure.
So take notes. If you're struggling with a semi-fight,
just do
just shoot it.
Yeah, just do what you're supposed to do, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Now
go ahead.
We're getting our second piece of the Triforce now.
And honestly, probably my favorite item in the game, the Speed Booster. Compared to later past games, the Speed Booster is a lot more flexible than it was.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So now we can morph during Speed Booster, we can slide during Speed Booster, we can jump during Speed Booster, we can wall jump.
Maintain across areas. You better see here, we're going to be using this a ton throughout the whole run. As you see right here, you just move all the way through, and this is just...
Yep.
Really
this is kind
awesome.
of like the Speed Booster tutorial where they try to use environmental cues to teach you how to use the item. And then we're going to do a ball spark right there so we don't incur the Shine Spark cutscene. There are a couple areas where the Shine Spark has a special cutscene when you use it, that being one of them, the other one being in Escape. And now we're going to go to that early grapple area I mentioned before.
To get our final piece. Yeah, if you're used to Speed Booster in other games and you haven't played this one yet, then you're in for a treat.
And now, this part of the run is where things kind of get a little wacky. So, Kodak mentioned before the Triforce.
Yeah.
So that's Flash Shift, Speed Booster, and Grapple Beam.
Yeah.
These three items in combination will essentially allow us to clip through terrain in various ways, all coming from one core trick in a Flash Slide turnaround while Speed Booster is charged. So once I grab the Grapple Beam here, I'm going to be showing off an immediate use of the skew state, which will be used to clip through a one-tile wall in order to keep things moving.
Yeah, so basically, by skew, we're just gonna like skew Samus's like angle. You know, usually we're moving left and right. This is more like a 2D type game, but oh no, this is not how things are gonna be playing throughout most of the run.
Yeah, so Dread may be a 2D game in actual execution, like you said, but we do get to use some extra axes of the game to our advantage. So if we come over here, we just need to leave the grapple area, and then we're going to come over here now that we have Speed Booster. We can kind of exit the way you're intended to come in. And then we're going to come here and do a flashlight turnaround. And we're going to up and behind us, pause, and on the next frame, let go of free aim. And hold forward. And you may have noticed that wall jump looks a little weird.
Yeah.
It'll be a little more obvious here, but I'm not turning around when I'm doing spin jumps in the air. Unfortunate that I missed the quick spark there, but that's okay.
Very slightly. The benefits of said skew are going to be seen very shortly.
Yeah, so we're just going to drop down here. Nope. Nope. Wrong angle. There we go. So we're going to slide here to get partially in. 1, 2.
We're kind of face towards the camera right now. And there we are.
And through the wall we go. Now, we haven't...
grapple.
Yeah. Just a little pseudo wave there. And then we're going to do a little clip here. That's a classic Shine Sync clip discovered many, many years ago at this point, right after release. And we grabbed the screw attack.
So much is going on there at just one point.
Yeah, it's just back to back to back to back at this point.
You see, there's even a space on the menu. You're just not supposed to have this right now at all.
Now, we want to go through this door, but as you can see, you can't open it. But luckily, we have skew.
So we're just going to run against this, slide in, and then because the door is so thin, you kind of can just jump through and go into the elevator. Yeah,
so any door that you're supposed to be able to shoot to open with just beams doesn't have a kill plane in it. So you can essentially use that slide to get partially into the wall and then do a neutral jump over to get into the door.
I guess something that should be noted is that like out of bounds usually like hurts.
Yeah.
Basically it kills you.
Mercury Steam learned their lesson from, also look at the bottom left, something weird happens with the water. Check this out.
It's pretty interesting. Alakazam. So we just activated Frozen ZDR. That's just like one part of the progression of the game. Is that usually supposed to be going through that teleporter on the other end. You go towards Artaria, whereas you see it's more Frozen. But we're just going in the other way. Still activates that state of ZDR. So it just has that weird like bonus effect. And now we're just gonna screw attack these bosses while we're here. Shine Spark does a lot of damage. And
very nice. That was very clean.
Very clean.
But yeah, we don't have Plasma Beam or anything to kind of just like shoot our way through, so we have to kind of improvise. But luckily, like I said, we have skew.
And something that should be noted is that when you don't like do what is it, turn around in the air.
Yeah.
Then
so
not booting off the game, which obviously we're not going to do. He can skew for as long as he wants.
Yep. And you can even carry it between save files, which is why we have a stratification between single file unrestricted and multi-file unrestricted. But essentially, as long as I don't do a neutral jump and turn around in the air, I will keep my skew, as Kodak mentioned. So I'm going to have to very carefully modulate my movement a little bit to avoid that. Especially with enemies that can bump you, you have to be really, really careful.
You can't get skew back, though, so it's not like the end of the world, but it's like, obviously, we're just trying to avoid that. This was what's supposed to happen. Like, you just come in here and it's like, oh, it's frozen now.
Yeah, so normally you would come through here and just kind of like go through Frozen Artaria. You have Screw Attack kind of in your face, but
you can't get it.
Yeah.
But we already have it. Do a one block. Do some frame advances here.
There we go.
That looks good. Not halfway through.
And we go through the wall.
Yep.
So you have to be very careful on those frame advances because if you go too far, then you die because you will be in the wall, and the game does not like it if you're in the wall.
Yeah. Yep.
So there I modulate my grapple angle because technically the flipper and the floor are two different pieces of collision, and the grapple beam will actually hit that flipper and kill you in the floor, and make your day a lot worse. And you may be asking yourself, you have the ability to speed boost anywhere you want. Why aren't you using it here? If you hit this guy with speed booster while he's on the wall, not only will it not kill him, it will crash the game.
The game do not like that. Yeah,
it is very unintended behavior, so we just kind of have to suffer through mashing through with wide beam.
Nice plasma beam, by the way.
Yeah, totally is
nice,
plasma beam.
Nice X. I don't know why that's there.
Yeah, you may notice I've not actually released the X yet, so when I hit X enemies, something weird is going to happen.
Oh yeah, take a look at this.
Oh yeah, Artaria Speedway, we're just going to be going through here. Yep. Oh, that looks weird.
Yep.
Oh, I almost got the whole continuation.
Yeah.
So
there's some parts throughout the run where you're just trying to like maintain this speed booster through like gravity collision, like football, the speed keep. A lot of them, it's a lot harder than it looks. That way.
And then here, I'm going to come up, and I'm actually going to skew before I go up so I don't get turned around by that wall. And then we have to be very careful here, because if you go into that little empty area right there, there's a kill plane there, and you will die. That is a category extension, funny enough, invented by myself called hypothermia percent. Yeah. Here, we're going to be careful, try not to turn around like I mentioned before. We really want to avoid that if possible.
Yeah, so that we were talking about was like the X enemies. You saw that they got frozen, and that just because we just have not released the X yet. So they just have nothing to spawn, so they're just kind of in limbo forever. It's kind of sad, honestly. That was, I forgot what that's called.
It's called a spark bounce.
Yeah.
You essentially ball spark into a wall and hit B right after you hit the wall. It's a pretty. It's
a really nice, really cool strat, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a pretty generous window. But essentially what it allows you to do is just do that little moonball jump that looks really funny, which will allow us to get that ledge and kind of flash shift over all the enemies and stuff that are in our way. Found by, or at least shown to me by the runner Ed Nolium, has really, really, really good movement, great speed booster strats. Like, he's really, really a close friend of mine and a special runner. And now we're in Frozen Catarus, which means we have to fight Z57. And I really don't want to do the whole fight with regular missiles and wide beam, so I'm going to do it with speed booster.
Yeah.
So first, I'm going to try a kind of difficult method of getting in here called the drop-in kill, where I'm going to do a 7-tile clip on this wall. And that's notable because a 7-tile clip is a lot harder than any other distance. It's kind of like the max distance here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to focus up real quick.
Yep. And I got him in the wall.
Oh, I'm gonna bail on this. Actually, you know what? We'll see. We'll see. So I'm doing a map buffer to do. Okay, yeah, it's gonna kill me.
Yep.
So we'll just do the normal one. But essentially, if you can get that one frame advance, you can go all the way through that wall into the room with the lava, and basically go into an unloaded version of Catarus and drop through to Z57. However,
really crazy.
Yeah, it's really hard. So in order to keep myself on time and not hold up the rest of the event, we're going to come down here and we're going to do... Oops, I lost my skew by accident, so I'm going to have to go get that back real quick. So like I mentioned, don't turn around in neutral. So we're just going to get that back real quick, and now we have it back. As I mentioned before, doors that are normally shot doors... Did I not get skew? What? That's crazy. All right, we're gonna try that again. There we go. So we're gonna do the same neutral jump clip here to go through this door. Stand up and go through.
Yep. Use that.
And now we're gonna do the Z57 quick poke called Skew 57. So I'm gonna hold Y through this cutscene skip and let loose a partially charged beam, which will skew me forward. And now I can just get a speed booster for free. And he's dead.
Yep, and he's dead. One of the coolest fights in the game, in my opinion, just gone.
Just completely trivialized.
Yeah.
And now we actually need to head towards Ferenia, so we're going to be going back to the purple teleportal. And then we're gonna do a little speed keep here. Yeah, I jumped in these morph tunnels in order to keep the speed through the load zone. And then we're back in purple. All right, so basically, a very important feature of killing all the bosses is that we basically have to do, we want to minimize the amount of transportation we have to take. So we want to do all of the Ferenia bosses in one fell swoop. So what we're going to do here is called the Ferenia One Trip, where I'm going to come in through the intended entrance at the Quiet Robot fight, and then clip up into the upper part of Ferenia through what's called the Fast Ferenia clip. It's a double neutral jump clip, which is the same type of clip that I did in Frozen Artaria to get through that wall. Another like small optimization there, you fall a little bit faster when you're in Morph Ball. So we're just going to come through here. Very careful here. We want to not lose skew. I might have lost it. Yeah, I'm going to get it back real quick. Nope. So I'm going to go ahead and go all the way to Quiet Robo, kill the boss. I don't need skew for that. Oop, missed my jump, that's okay. We still hit 2/3 of the flash chain there. That's kind of a really interesting part of Dread speedrunning, where you're basically trying to find avenues where you can connect flash shifts together to get from point A to point B faster, because this is by far the fastest way to move short distances. If you have to go more than, I think it's 6 flashes, then Speed Booster's faster. So there will be certain straightaways where I just use Speed Booster, but for the most part, I'm going to be flash shifting essentially everywhere.
Yeah. And just really nice because you just like formulate and say, okay, I can just use one flash shift to get to those like smaller distances, so just be able to jump up to like ledges and stuff. It's like there's a lot of freedom of movement in this game.
And like you said, freedom of movement. We do a little speed keep there, and just kind of blast right through that area, notably allowing us to get through that little robot without too much issue. And then we're going to use the length of this room to go get skew again, because unfortunately I lost it. Oh, try that again. So you just want to get in the air again. Oh, I got turned around. So a fun fact about the spark timer is if you're in the air when it goes off in that state, it will flip your direction. So I got to be really fast here on this ledge because it's pretty long. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll get it up top. And then we're going to want to come up here. And we have a little fan that we use with Speed Booster. I'm going to use this to go up here to another area where I can get skew. These bugs are in the way. Just dispatch them real quick. If I need Speed Booster, I can get it again down here. Really fumbling around a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Really messing up here, but that's okay. And this is a very important demonstration of why you try not to lose skew, because getting it back, while not too hard, yeah, okay, we got it again. So you see how Samus turned around there. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get into this corner here. We're gonna do that same neutral jump clip setup here, and we're gonna have to do it twice in a row. All right, that's good.
It's the main like visual cue here is we just don't want like Samus's helmet to be like halfway through the wall. That usually means death. So it's usually just trying to be like as close to like the halfway point as possible, like the line.
Yeah, essentially as long as you're not more than halfway in the wall, it won't kill plane check you.
So right now we're like in the Emmy tunnel, like where you're not really supposed to be. Which is pretty interesting.
So I need to get a forward-facing skew here in order to do that same setup, because I'm in a one-tile hallway, which has different properties in this game, unfortunately. we go. And then we're just gonna go up and to the right again. And we're in Fernia.
Nice. Praise be.
So very much clear at this point. Walls are suggested in Metroid Dread. Everyone seems to be very confused, and that's understandable, because, like, what are walls and floors? Certainly not I.
Yep.
And then we're going to take a little shortcut here to get to SQ, so we can just kind of do an aim down clip instead of a shine sink and just go straight through the floor. And then we're going to be very careful in this little hallway not to turn around in the air so we don't lose skew. And then we're going to remove SQ. He's a little bit of a pest, but not too bad.
State's Eggman.
Okay, that's going to be a 2-cycle. Very nice. And he's dead.
Right.
So that gets us the Storm Missiles. Great damage upgrade. Give you a lot of extra damage support. And I managed to do the fight without losing skew, so I do not have to go back and get it. Luckily, there is a spot here. If you do lose it, you can get it back. But for now, we can just kind of keep on keeping on. We're going to be heading towards the purple Emmy because we really want Wave Beam. It's very, very strong against everyone not named Ravenbeak, and it essentially just is a delete book. But first, we have to go through this little Storm Missile door.
It's especially helpful to get Wave Beam because we don't have any of the other like upgrades. Like we don't have Plasma Beam. We don't have. Or what else are we missing? Is it just Plasma?
Yeah, it's just Plasma and Wave.
It's like Plasma is kind of very helpful. Like based in every single game where you get it, it is a blessing.
Yeah.
Although they usually give it to you right after you are suffering. Sam's just doing a little dance here to get closer into the wall, and yep, and we just ignore everything.
And then we're just going to navigate up through here. And we have to be very, very careful in this room. We do not want to lose skew. If you lose skew, you have to checkpoint and do that door clip again. We're going to kill this robot, pre-shoot once, and then we're going to do an out-of-water bomb jump where essentially you place the bomb such that you're falling and you can get halfway above the water. And then we're going to use the skew here to get a spark. And now we do not need skew anymore. We are completely done with it for the rest of the run. So say goodbye to skew. It had a great run. I don't have any jump upgrades, so I'm just going to use the bomb jump to get up there. But yeah, we're now done with skew, and now we have to fight the purple Emmy. So hold on to your pants. This is going to look really, really stressful, but I promise I have it under control.
Yeah. He is a professional.
You know, they do tell me that, unfortunately. You can actually shoot this button again to keep the water from draining all the way through, but if I am to do that, I will soft lock myself because I don't have the gravity suit. So we're just going to stand here and shoot it.
So he's taking his sweet out of time.
He's going to get up close and personal. And that's GG for the Emmy.
Woohoo!
But yeah, that's the last, not the last, the second to last Emmy fight that we're going to be doing, but in the game, it's intended to be the last one that you fight in the traditional sense. But now, Beams stack in Dread just like Fusion, so by getting a future upgrade to Plasma Beam,
we got damage.
We got damage.
Yeah.
But more importantly, we get Plasma Beam from getting Wave Beam. So we get all of the properties of all of the beam upgrades from going straight to Wave Beam. And we're just going to make our way out of here. That's my little... let me get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. Why not? Do a little speed keep here. Oh, I missed. That's okay.
So these keeps aren't easy.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of really tricky ones now as we've gotten better at the game, and it's honestly so cool. So now we're going to take a little detour here to go grab Space Jump because it is just incredibly useful. And because we can get a spark charge here, we can actually exit the room through the door we go in. So you just spark in, grab the item, and then flash shift out. Essentially allowing us to avoid going through that water area that's just really, really slow.
Yep.
So there we go. We're out. And then we're going to do a little tiny speed keep here. And we're going to want to spark this gold bug, because he's got way more health than the other guy. Unfortunately, got the worst RNG possible. But I have wave beam, so, you know,
who cares?
It's fine.
Yeah, literally, who cares?
This is where I needed to go anyway, so it works out. Take a little shortcut here. There's power bomb blocks there, so we're just going to slip on through.
Yep.
And now we get to do kind of what I think is the most fun part of the run, which is the wave beam boss cleanup. We do a lot, and I mean a lot of damage with wave beam. And we're going to make that evidently clear with the bosses that we're going to be fighting here in Berenia and
too much
Gavaran.
damage.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a little too much.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to do some manipulations around
to make sure we do
flags.
less damage, because we do a little too much.
Yeah. So now we got to climb all the way up to the upper part of Berenia, which is now open thanks to killing the Quiet Robot. Ooh, taking a dip in the water. I guess Samus was a little hot. We're just going to come up here. And we can come up through here. And just a little like flash shift demo area. It's pretty neat.
It's like a super good just showcase just how fluid this game's movement is. Like, I seriously recommend anyone who has not tried this game out, even if you're not like a diehard Metroid fan, like you can't tell me you're not like intrigued with this.
And then we can just blast the eye door. Very easy. So now we get to fight Drog, and this boss is sometimes called the water spore spawn because he kind of just fills space. But with wave beam, he is just absolutely a joke. However, we do too much damage. But okay, that was good. So we're gonna do 2 quick charges here, take the parry, and he's dead.
He's dead. Yep. Yeah. So he's explicitly tried to get not every single hit of wave beam from Riot, because if he hits with every single beam, it does too much damage, and then you get like how do you describe it?
It's a damage gate.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
But it's like it basically gets shielded up. It's like gets past the next phase, and we just don't want that to happen. So he uses does a little bit less damage, and then uses the damage damage abuse to continue that phase, so we can be able to kill him really fast.
And you may have noticed I slid into him in between the shots. That delays the melee from coming up, so I could get those 2 extra quick charges in. You have a very, very large window to be able to do it as long as you miss that one piece of the wave beam on that first shot. Yeah. Or the second shot, either one. As long as it's within the first 2, because if you hit all 6, he goes straight to the damage gate.
Now in Gavaran, this is actually a really cool area in my opinion.
Yeah, I really like the design of Gavaran, like aesthetically. And you got these weird, like fleshy deer in the background, these flying whales. Like, it's truly just a crazy looking area. But we're gonna fight this poor robot who doesn't know that I already have wave beam. And he's gone.
Bye-bye.
I do the Storm Missile pre-charge there just because they deal so much damage. And you may notice, the Emmy is also not here because this is in the intro part of Gavaran before you release the X. So Evil Quiet Robe has not turned the Emmy back on. So we can just kind of casually move through there without much issue. We also can avoid a lot of platforming because we have the space jump, and it's the whole reason we collect it. So we're gonna do the same thing here as we did on the purple Emmy. And we're just gonna speed boost and
just protect it.
One very easy.
It's very nice that you don't have to just keep shooting that thing, even though we do have wave beam now, so it wouldn't be that bad.
Now, thankfully, the instance of the Emmy when you're traversing Gavaran and the Emmy here are 2 different entities. So no matter what you do, as long as you beat the CU, this Emmy will spawn. So there's no issues like the white Emmy where you have to do some specific movement and spawning in order to defeat it.
Looks like a very easy Emmy fight.
Yeah, it can just be a little suspect because like the distance is so far. Sometimes I miss shots.
Yeah. just like we show coach the white Emmy, and it's like, okay, we have all this platforming, and all the other ones we literally just kind of shoot at it, and it kind of dies.
Yep, and in a similar vein to the beams, missile upgrades also stack in this game, and by collecting the final upgrade, we get both of them.
Ice missiles.
So now we go straight from regular missiles to fully upgraded missiles, and now we have every damaging upgrade besides the cross bombs. Spoiler alert, we will be getting those because we have to kill the boss. But first, we need to release the X.
Yes.
So here, we're going to be using what's called a ledge warp, where you basically take advantage of the fact that Samus in ball and Samus standing are two different enemies. Try to do Hackathon boost, but I accidentally did a spin jump. I'm also jumping before my flash lift sometimes because air flashes actually go a little bit further than ground flashes, which allows you to move a little bit further. So here, we're going to take a quick little detour into Elon, which is basically the safe that the X are kept in.
We're going to open that safe.
There's one specific flag that we have to hit in order to release the X, but first we want to fight the boss. There is one Chozo soldier in Elon, and unfortunately is like 90% of the reason we have to come here. Or I guess half the reason. Yeah. The other half of the reason is Goltuna.
Yeah. We're using another ledge warp again. If you missed that one ledge warp before, we're going to have to use it again after you release the X. First, we're going to go kill this.
Yep. And here, I back up from the door because the load from the door will actually extend the length of the initial jump from Shine Spark, which is that same jump is what allows us to clip through terrain, either 1 or 2 tile terrain or with map lag up to 7 tiles. I didn't really explain it very clearly before, but when I'm doing that motion where I go to the global map and exit back to the game, that is called, ooh, first try, nice. Yep. So here we're going to carefully navigate down and go into this bomb cannon, which will spawn the X, and then we can just ledge warp out.
Yep.
Bye, Elon.
Yep.
Yeah, do a little spark shot here.
It still kind of doesn't make a lot of sense why that ball launcher is like the
trigger.
The trigger for releasing the X, but hey, we take that to our advantage, and we're basically here for no time at all.
Yeah, it's just a little quick drop in.
Yeah.
And like, interestingly enough, even if you don't go through the ball tunnel, as long as you go to the exit of the ball tunnel, it will still spawn the X. Because you could theoretically backdoor go through Elon backwards, but that's not faster.
Yeah.
And now we get to do a fun little speed keep and another ledge warp in order to spawn the second to last boss in Gavran, the Jungle Chozo. I skipped that cutscene, also known as the hardest boss of the game, and we are going to be charging ahead.
Nice.
Okay. If you get the ledge warp first try, you can carry that speed booster over to this to ball spark through, yeah. But very tight to get that.
That's very tight. So
you know, you might as well go for it. You got nothing to lose, but
yep. Yeah, we're still in ledge warp state, so we gotta stay more ball. So nice.
Yep. Carefully bomb jump up. So a very notable part of bomb jumping in the water is that you actually have to. Okay, there we go. Warp back. We're gonna freeze this mushroom. Do a little turnaround and store. And now we're gonna do what's called the tumble kill. So essentially, I'm just gonna go where he spawns with my speed booster, and it's gonna delete the first phase. And now he just kind of gets folded.
Wave beam do a lot of damage.
It does do a lot of damage. And now we're kind of in the like the final stretch here of this run. So we're going to be doing the same speed keep we did before. Missed the morph out, but you can keep it all the way through here as a true keep, no store. And then come here. I'm going to do a little speed keep here. That's not necessarily faster, but I like to do it for the style. Ball Spark through here, and now we have to fight Golzuna. So I'm going to do what's called a crazy 8 kill, where I basically run through the Goliath while it's spawning, and then Golzuna spawns into me, I'm going to flash in, and then I'm going to store at the wall. And that is a perfect 4-star kill. And oh, what? I guess I went too early. That's unfortunate. That's okay, I'll just do it again.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
I guess I was playing too much on autopilot. I went a little too fast there, but that just goes to show how much contact damage Golzuna really does. It's a lot.
This fight used to be, was actually really hard for me when I first played this game.
Yeah, this boss is a huge stumbling point for speedrunning. Luckily, the strats are very, very robust at this point. See, we just do it again. I'm going to wait a little bit longer. And then we can Storm Missile this here to take care of it. And that's cross bombs. That's the final upgrade, or not the final, the penultimate upgrade in the game.
Yeah, we kind of have one more bomb-related upgrade.
Now, I don't really like cross bombs, so I'm going to do what's called cross bomb skip in here, just because it's a little faster, where you break these 2 blocks here, and then you can just kind of jump across. If I'm fumbling with it too bad, I'll use cross bombs, but I would like to do CBS. There we go. There's 1. There's 2.
Yeah, we do not like cross bombs.
Yeah, they are notoriously very finicky.
I was stuck in that room for a long time because I just didn't understand how like the cross bombs were supposed to be able to help me get through that section.
Yeah, you have to hold R for a really, really long time to use cross bombs, and there is kind of like an audible click, but you have to wait just a little moment after.
Yeah.
But here, now that we are in Hanubia, we can basically just finish up the rest of the game. There's 2 Chosen Soldier fights, and then we can go to Iterash. Looking at the timing, we've got probably, I don't know, 10 minutes to run left, but, you know, escape is really the signifier, you know? Oh, okay, we're gonna spark shot here, We use the cross bomb to clear that out, and then avoid the claw because he can kind of disturb our movement a little bit. We're gonna refill from that little robot guy, and I'm actually gonna pre-charge storm missiles because the longer you hold R, the faster you get storm block reticles. And that just gets us a little bit of extra damage. And then we just kind of use beams. So a little bit of an ugly fight, but that's okay. I'm still kind of adjusting between strats on that one. That Met strat where you pre-charge is a little faster, but I always kind of forget to start using missiles after. And now we get to watch basically like 45 seconds of cutscene.
Ooh.
Back to back, unskippable, unfortunately.
So this is going to be our final upgrade?
Yeah, the power pumps. And this fight's kind of infamous in any percent unrestricted because you don't get wave beam on any percent. You just have to kill it with wide beam and a shine spark. And it's right after what is easily the hardest wall clip in the game. So that is a very, very tricky place to be for sure.
Yeah.
But because we have wave beam, we can kind of just waltz in. And then here we're basically just going to be clearing out power bomb blocks, which will be useful later in escape. But by dropping it before you go through the door, try to get power bomb drop. Very good. No power bomb scamming here.
Yeah, we kind of need those power bombs. We get so little. Still getting some drops. Very nice.
There we go. Penthouse keep. And then we're going to be fighting the elite Chozo Soldier.
Yep.
This is the 29th boss of the game. We're going to get a little pot shot in at the start, start charging our storm missiles. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And now he transitions phases. We get our free pot shots in. Now, I do not want to get hit by this guy because unlike the other soldiers, he actually does percent health damage. And if I get hit by him, I will be reduced down to basically like 3 hit points, or 3 energy. And now Samus's Metroid powers are fully activated. And because this Barrier suit's actually a little smaller than the Gravity suit, we're going to have this funny red aura around us until we flash it. It only stays for that room, unfortunately, but I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. That's basically sending us up to Idarash, which is going to be our, our final fight.
Yeah, so we have to go talk to Ravenbeak, also known as Bird Dad. We learned that he contributed to the DNA that helped make Samus a super person, essentially. So we've got to have a conversation with him after he kind of smacked us up at the start of the game.
Yeah, I guess we didn't really talk about that much about the story because there's so much that has to get showed up. But basically, Samus just shows up, gets destroyed by Ravenbeak, and just what is going on? I gotta figure this out.
Yeah, because it's reported that the X were sighted on ZDR, and as we've seen, they are most definitely here.
Yeah. Although for Samus, it's kind of like that.
All right, so here I'm going to be holding R because I want to be using missiles right at the start of the fight. We're going to try to shoot 2 missiles and get a cross bomb in to absolutely decimate Ravenbeak's energy shield, so that way we can do the gold skip, which will skip. Okay, there we go. Really bad RNG there. That is pretty much the worst option for him to do. But here we can do gold skip, so we parry, get 2 storm locks, and then mash our way through. And then we can get a couple extra pot shots in during the cutscene.
By doing a dash melee there, you get in the right position, it basically avoids getting hit by both of those beams. Sometimes you do get hit, but for the most part, it's just shoot yourself so you don't have to get hit.
And I'm staying on this left wall here because it keeps him from doing that vertical slam. Basically, if I can limit his hit at all, I would like to do that. But yeah, you can see there, sometimes you do get damaged by the, oh, okay, I ran out of missiles. That was great timing. Sir, get out of my way, please.
The cross bombs actually do damage.
Yeah.
Ravenbeak alongside our missiles. And power bombing that gives us a lot of resources back.
And we're actually not going to take the parry cutscene because mechanically in Dread, parry cutscenes actually reduce your damage output. Ravenbeak is the only fight where it's kind of worth it sometimes. So I accidentally bumped him there, so he's going to do the melee again. Oh, turn around, and there he is. That's Ravenbeak. So now we just have to go fight RBX and do escape. Time will be once the cutscene for the final cutscene of the game.
We'll say it out again because actually it's a very it's very abrupt. So be close to ready when we say it.
Yeah, definitely a very smooth run once things got going. Just took a little bit to get going since the new tricks are pretty hard.
Also, technically we did live out the suit upgrade.
Yeah, I guess that's true. There is the Metroid suit. So we're just going to charge that up so we can instant fire it, let it walk up to us a little bit, and then shoot him. You only need to damage him for about 4 seconds, so this is more than enough time for him to die. In any percent, you actually don't ever get the Metroid suit, so you have to do it with regular beams, which leads it to being very inconsistent and is a known pain point, but, you know, it is what it is. And now we just get to do escape. The Metroid suit actually completely removes all of our Aeon abilities, unfortunately. And, you know, it wouldn't be Metroid without escape, truly. It is one of the most important features of a Metroid game.
Although the music is a bit different.
And then we're going to lay a powerbomb here to take care of some of the enemies that are in the room. It just kind of makes it a little faster.
Yeah.
Do some dash melees here to skip over some very awkward terrain. And then we're going to be trying to do what's known as the Arcandy Spark or the Arc Spark here, where we're going to build up a speed here and then try to carry it into the final or second penultimate room. There we go. That's Arc Spark.
Yep.
That is very, very difficult for sure, but definitely happy to hit that in a marathon setting. And then here's the final room.
We're getting really close to time.
Yeah, time will be right up here after this final Shine Spark.
Be ready. All right. And time.
And there's Metroid Dread, all bosses unrestricted.
All right, we got to check for bosses.
Oh, yeah. We got to do our 30 bosses check. Hold up.
Yeah.
So we got this mission results screen. It's going to tell us how many times we died, how many bosses we killed.
Yeah.
You know, all sorts of fun
Very
facts
helpful
about
for this
our
category,
run.
at least.
Yeah.
So we can definitely guarantee.
Thank you. But here,
What was our final time?
but there we go. 30 bosses defeated. That's all bosses unrestricted. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the run.
Huge. GG.
Yeah, GG, everyone. Thank you, Kodak, for commentating.